it is. We're getting everybody, and it's so important because we'll find out in March or April, that somebody hadn't registered and we didn't have, have an emergency number. We didn't have anything. And it's so important because we'll find out in March or April, that somebody hadn't registered.
Whoops. Did I go dead?
I don't know. I was talking after I finished.
Oh, you bent over and your back blended in with the floor. And so I thought, where did Terry go? She just like
Can you
poof,
see me? I can't see you.
disappeared. Now I thought that I just put it on live stream, but it looks like it didn't happen. So I'm gonna try it again. Oh, it's not wanting to do that.
Terry, a question.
Yeah.
Of course.
Terry,
Okay.
Terry, I emailed 4 of you yesterday about taping the session with Mimi Greek. Did anybody tape it, record it?
No.
No? Okay.
Hoping that too.
Yeah, it's too bad. She leaves now, or she'd do it again. She leaves she has the opposite of everybody else. She goes to Arizona in the winter. I know, it's too bad. It was really fascinating. It was about AI, but for she's calling it for seniors, but the way Mimi talks, it's like all happening in the world, and it's light and sunshine. And she turned this AI thing. A couple people in the audience immediately said, "Yes, I know. I'm afraid of it. I don't want to know. And, I don't know why I'm here." And got 40 people to come. That was, she has a lot of friends too, but they've come to once in a while to things, and it was really nice. But really that explanation of that you don't even need to type, that you could talk on them, but it's not replacing something else. It's adding to sort of song that she wrote about that they made into a song. And again, it was all this wonderful, beautiful, let the sun shine in, but it was great. And people, a lot of guys there that were fascinated because they also had, questions, but they, I could hear them talking to somebody about, this is very different than I thought I was, learning people want.
Did she tell people to come join us this morning?
We did.
Okay.
We did. I know. I don't know people anymore. Okay. I'm going to say every reaction to different things in the last couple of months has been interesting. Just how either little participation or people come to something, or just whatever it is attracts tons of people and are happy about it and learn other things. And then I saw Joyce yesterday.
Well, I am going to send out the email with all of the links because there are a lot of people aren't here, and I already got one phone call that they didn't know how to get into class because it's a new link. So I'm just afraid that folks might not understand that and are a little bit lost out there. So I'm just going to take a minute to send this out real quick.
Good idea. I had to go looking for it.
It was a really good, it's a really good link. I spent some time doing it, but it works perfectly. I set up my calendar.
Good.
Yes.
They're also, I know a lot of people don't read down into the weekly email, but the newsletter also has all those links, and on our webpage, just go into our webpage and it has everything that you need to know that you question.
All right.
Sorry about that, Linda.
Let me send that out. Okay, that's done. All righty. Now let me queue up what we were looking at. I just wanted to, so we're kind of continuing our conversation that happened in the last class, excuse me, and that is about cybersecurity and protection. It seems even more important now than ever to pay attention to what's going on in terms of threats because they're coming fast and furious. And I try to not focus on that in this class all the time. And I was really wanting to take time today to make sure while I say these same steps over and over and over again about do this, make sure you do this and do this. I wanted to make this a little bit more hands-on for anyone who is not actually gone ahead and set up two-factor authentication or hasn't actually created using a password manager for themselves. Because in private conversations, people have said, well, no, I really haven't done that yet. And so the reason why, and I hate to be boring and repeat myself, but there's a really good reason for it is because it matters so, so much. And so I want to make sure that I'm making it easy for you to do so. So Joyce, you use two-factor authentication
On most of my stuff, yes.
Yep. and you use a password manager.
Right. Now here's what I found though. Okay, so on my computer, which is a 13, a fairly small portable, portable computer that I can take with me when I travel, everything works fine. But then sometimes I'll find myself on my iPhone and I'll try to use the password manager and it doesn't click up, or on my iPad. So for some critical things, like my bank accounts, I don't use the password manager. I mean, I save it in the password manager, but I have one that I have written down that I can, that I know I can access to.
So that's a really good statement because I'm sure you're not the only one that's has that experience. So my first question, because you are very tech savvy, and that's why I picked on you because I thought that I knew what the answer was, and I knew that you'd feel pretty good about sharing that. So thank you for that. I'm going to assume that all your devices, your computer, your laptop, your MacBook, your iPhone, and your iPad are all synced.
Theoretically.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes, for instance, I will find that there's something on my iPhone that did not make it to the computer.
How much time do you spend in places where there might not be Wi-Fi or a cell signal?
Some,
Some, okay.
yeah.
So, that's the main reason why I find that things don't make it to the next device is because if I was with my phone and did something on my phone, a perfect example is taking a picture. If I take a picture up here, just up the road where I walk the dogs, there's no cell service and there's no internet. So that picture at that point in time is stored solely on my phone. If something were to happen on my phone, that picture is not in the cloud and that picture could be never retrieved if something happened on my phone because it wasn't up in the cloud. I wasn't in Wi-Fi or cell service. So that could be one possibility where you're trying to do something in a situation like that. I can't imagine that you would be doing something that intense in a place where you're not going to have any cell service, though.
Right.
I would imagine you do most of your banking kind of things in a safe space,
Right.
not in Wi-Fi zones, but in your home, or in, a trusted home. Doesn't have to be your home, but somebody's house, not a public place. So then the next thing that I would check, and I'm just throwing this out there to the iPhone users, is to just double check and make sure that sync is on. Here's one of these life's little things that I can never explain about technology is how sometimes stuff is not on and we swear it's been on the whole time. Like, whatever setting it is, how did this setting change? If there are updates, sometimes updates will revert back to what they think is either a safer mode or a default mode. The update might have more security, and so that would stop some kind of sharing from happening. These are guesses, but pretty good guesses in terms of why would it be built in that things would change when you know your fingers haven't
Yeah,
been
I
on
just
that
don't know
page?
why I'm not there.
Okay, okay, so you want to see you,
Sorry.
or us?
All you got to do is change the view. What are you seeing, Terry?
I'm seeing the gallery.
Okay, but you don't see you?
Yeah.
Okay, so click on view in the upper right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Click on view and you there's a place where it says hide self view. You have to uncheck that. Do you see that?
No, I'm looking at it.
Upper right-hand corner,
I know,
view.
I know, and I always use it all the time and I can't find it. Do you see view here? I'm not in the picture, so she said there's something I click on.
Okay, I'm gonna mute you while you figure that out. So does that make sense, Joyce?
Yes. Yes.
So it's always good, particularly if you know an update happened, to make sure that things are synced, just going back in and syncing. And Amy's trying to get in here. Hang on.
And that's getting paid. It's gotta be paid by February.
Let's see if someone else is trying to get in. No, just Amy. So,
So what's the easy way to sync?
the easy way to sync is to go to your settings and choose sync devices.
From which, so what
It
I've
doesn't
noticed
matter.
is that some of the devices control other devices. Like there are things I can do on the iPhone that I can't do on the MacBook. So if I were going to sync, which device would I use to sync it?
I always look at the devices as the computer is the most powerful with the most capabilities. So I would start with that. I think on something like Sync though. And so just for the folks who are not iPhone users, but for the Android users, it's going to be the same thing. You would go to settings, and because I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure out where that is, I'm going to go to, I'm just going to go to the search bar in settings and type in sync devices and see what happens. So right here in mine, it has an option when I put in the word, just the word sync, because I want to make sure all my things are synced. Right here, passwords, passkeys, and accounts. Now that's in my Google, but automatically sync app data, passwords, passkeys, and accounts. So
Not getting that at all.
no,
we
but
don't
I'm
have
in
that on
Google.
Apple, yeah.
I'm in Google.
Okay.
I'm in Google, right?
And she said
So but sync my devices is going to be probably, I'm going to guess, in your account. So when you go to your settings, I don't have an Apple device. Oh, I do. I have Scott's iPad. When you go to your Apple device and you go to settings right at the top where it's got your name and your account, I'm betting sync is somewhere in that. Yes, Linda.
That's the calendar, which I just did, so that's why that's there.
Hang on, I gotta mute Bob. I gotta mute Bob because I can hear Bob talking and you talking. All right, go ahead again.
I've got on it sync apps to calendar because I've just been doing that, so it's there. Sync to iCloud, which is all about accessibility. Sync my sports and syncing apps to books because I have books on my apps. And I don't have sync from device to device. You don't see that.
Okay. Like I said, I don't have one here in
Oh, I
front
do
of me.
have a sync to iCloud, so maybe I should click on that. I don't know.
I would think sync to iCloud because you're gonna have iCloud everywhere, right?
Okay, I can do that.
And let me just sync Apple devices together. All right, so let me share the screen. Oh, Amy made it. Good morning.
Good Lord, I need to go to a tech class to join this now.
To sync Apple devices, sign in with the same Apple ID on all devices and enable iCloud sync for apps. So that's your your setting. Can you see that?
You are talking to who?
I'm talking to everyone who has an Apple account.
Okay, thank you.
To
I
sync
am.
Apple devices, sign in with the same Apple ID on all devices and enable iCloud sync for apps.
Okay, that's good.
My iCloud's sync to iCloud was off until I went there. So I mean, I assumed it would have been on, but it was off. So I just
Same
put
thing
it
here,
on.
Teresa. I assumed it would be on, but it wasn't.
Yeah, good, good. This is good. This is that
Mhm.
hands-on stuff I was talking about. Oh, look at Amy's pretty paddles. She must be in the Keys. Um, so, Terry, did you get it?
They do.
We can talk after class. You don't need to see yourself. We can see you. It's good. But you might want to unmute now in case you have a question. Okay, so let's go back to my original question to Joyce was to making sure that all of our devices were synced. We synced, they went through the process to make sure your Apple devices are synced. How you're going to do that, just to reiterate, is you're going to make sure that you're signed into the same Apple account with all of the devices. Then you're going to go to settings and you're going to sync your apps with the iCloud. That's what I said, right? Is that what I said?
Mhm.
You're going to enable iCloud sync for apps. That's the technical term, iCloud sync for apps. And so for Android, backing up now that Amy's here, an Android user, hopefully she's still in the room. So with syncing
Okay, I got
on my
that.
devices for an Android, all I did was go to my settings. I typed in the search bar sync, and it gave me 3 ways that I can sync things. To sync my Google contacts, to sync my notifications, and to sync my passwords, passkeys, and accounts. So that was where all this started with, was how come I use a password keeper and not me, it works for me all the time, but someone may use a password keeper and it might not pull up the password in every situation. The other reason why it might not pull up the password is because some websites have an extra layer of security. And so to be as annoying as it is, I understand and I kind of appreciate it. I've gotten so used to using my password keeper and it being so fast and easy and automatic that I don't have to think about it. But sometimes it will say, you haven't saved your password for Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I'm like, oh, that's a bunch of baloney. I know I do. You know, the other thing is if you have signed up for the account online, and then whether you're on your phone or your tablet or your computer, and then it says, get the app. And so sometimes when you get the app, and it all depends on who designs the app and how it's designed, sometimes you'll find that you are not automatically signed in. You just went right from the website where you're signed in with your username and password. At the bottom of the website, it says, get the app. You get the app, you download the app, you go into the app, you're not signed in. You have to sign in all over again. The problem is password keepers are not always going to recognize because it's a different address. An app, internet-wise, is a different kind of address than a full-on website. A full-on website is https://www dot blah, blah,
What you
blah,
talking?
right?
No, 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 do your class. I'm gonna press on. I'm going to listen.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Oh.
with an app, it is going to be truncated. It's a different address. If it were the same address, you would be going to the same place, which is the website. The app is not. It's an application of the website, so it's different. So while you can still use the same username and password, your password keeper might not recognize that it's the same thing.
My head's blowing up,
Okay. Okay.
but that's
So
okay.
is anybody else's? Okay, so if I go and it's easiest on my phone, sadly I can't share that so well on my phone, but I'm going to go to let me think of one that um let's see. Find an easy one that will, oh, I know. Okay, so Airbnb. Okay, so I downloaded the app for Airbnb, right? That's
Right.
not a website. That
Okay.
is an application. Think of an application as, okay, this is weird, but when you're traveling and you're gonna fly and you just want to get off the plane quick, you do carry on, right? You have this little bag. You think very carefully about all the things you're going to put in this little bag because this is all you're taking with you. And okay, I don't need to take shampoo because I'm staying at Medina's and she's got great hair, so I know she's got shampoo and I can use her shampoo, right? So I don't have to take my bottle of shampoo. I don't have to take, maybe I'll take my toothbrush and I can use her toothpaste, whatever. Or I can buy it when I get there. Point is, you take this nice little compact bag and it has just what you need in the bag. Or you're going to Europe for a month. You are not taking that travel carry-on. You are taking a big suitcase that has everything you need for every possible weather consideration and every place that you're going, whether you're, horseback riding in the Seychelles or hiking the Alps. You're gonna have lots of different things. So you need this really big bag that's not gonna fit in the overhead compartment. It's gonna go under the plane. Okay? An app is your carry-on. It's your nice little compact bag that has the essentials. Okay. The website is the everything. It's your go to Europe bag. It's got everything in it. All of your possibilities are in the website. So when I go, and oftentimes in the tech world, the app is better, but the app can't do everything. Oftentimes you cannot do specific things in the app. Not true with Airbnb, but we're going to use Airbnb as an example. So here's my app. Here's my little carry-on bag. I tap on my carry-on bag and it's going to have, what it has. Places to search for what's happening here. So then if I go to, which is actually where I started, now I'm going to go to my internet button. I'm using Chrome. So I'm going to, and I hit it the wrong way. Okay. So I'm using Chrome. I'm in Google. I'm not even going to do a search. I'm going to put in www.airbnb and B. And what it's trying to do is, there it is. It's airbnb.com. I want to make sure I was going to the right one. Okay. So when I bring it up, it looks fascinatingly an awful lot like the app. So this particular one has designed it so it kind of is just the same. But it's not because it has the web address up here. I can bookmark this. I can do other things. I can do everything I can do with this as I'm on my computer typing, going to a web page. On Airbnb, on any website, all the way down at the bottom of the page. I better scroll with the other hand or I'll select something. So I've gone through all the goodies at the top, and then down at the bottom on web pages, there's always all this good information. Things like newsroom, careers, gift cards, find a host, all kinds of things. This is the menu, right, for this particular website. I can also, generally speaking, on a website, I can go up to the top, and generally there's the 3 bars or 3 dots to see. Here it does not have it, and that's just the way they've designed their website. All of their menu information is down at the bottom. Going back to, so I switched, I'm going from the website over here. Now you can see I'm actually in the app itself. When I go to the app, if I go all the way down to the bottom of the app, it does not give me all that menu information. I'm at the bottom of the page. There's the top of the page. So this is a shortened form of what it is. So when you are saving a username and password, if you are in the website and you're saving the username and password using your password manager only sees what you tell it. And what you told it was www.airbnb.com, right? The way to get to my app is a different path for password managers. It's not going to www anything. It's going to a different location because it's a different place. Same information, but however the company designs their app versus their web page may create some of those glitches where it's like, why can I not log in? Why is it not seeing this? I notice this most with my banks, but I'm not going to show you my banks.
Oh,
So
come on.
I know. What a spoil sport. So with banks, they have super encrypted, like you can find your bank's webpage by going to www.firstcitizensbank.com or whatever their web address is. But when you're using their app, it is not the same at all. Their secure login often is not the same at all. So I'll use an example. I'm going to go and just for the people who use Google as a password keeper, I'm going to go to my G. I'm not going to Chrome. I'm going to my G because that's my Google account. Up at the top is my picture. I'm going to tap on my Google backwards. Okay. And then I'm going to go to manage your Google account. I'm going to tap on that. And then I'm going to go to security right there. And when I go to security, I'm going to scroll down to where my password manager is. I have 482 passwords saved. I think at this point, I've got them where they're all safe and secure. All right, and I'm going to type in one of the banks that I use. And here's what it has. It has South State Mobile. Okay, so that's the app. So that's the difference in the address. This is going to it through the app, which is the only place that I bank. If I go to my other bank, let's see what happens. Okay, so I type in the first word for my bank. I get the empty goldfish. Well, it's not a goldfish bowl. It's not an empty bowl. There's a fish in there, but he can't get the key because it does not know where anything is for Rabun County Bank because Rabun County Bank doesn't exist as an app name. Okay, so when I go back, I'm going, well, how am I going to find my bank? So I type in bank. Now it comes up with a whole bunch of options for banks. And you can see that they are apps and it's not called Rabun, it's called RBC Personal Banking. But I wouldn't know that. That's not what I call it. I drive by it a couple times a month and it says Rabun County Bank. It does not say RBC anything. It doesn't say personal banking anything. So having a different name for an app versus the website is oftentimes where we find that our usernames and passwords are not syncing up because we don't know what it's called. So you get a little creative when you're looking in your password manager and you think, okay, well, if I'm trying to find my bank password, why don't I just call bank and see what comes up? And it's kind of nice that it's coming up with all of these banking. This is what is identified because even this one, mtb.com, there's two of them. So we had gotten a loan when we first moved up here, and there's the app, MT Mobile Banking. There's the mtbbank.com. So those are the same company, but here's how it deals with the website. Here's how it deals with the app. So as you're trying to navigate through a password manager, you'll find maybe things are just called something different and you have to get a little bit more fluid with how you're looking at it. If I'm looking for Rabun County Bank in my password manager, I'm never going to find it. But I know it's in there because I can log in from the app using the password keeper. So how does that work? When I go to my Raven County Bank app, so I'm opening up the app. It'll take a minute. I just reset it up the other day, so it's not recognizing face because I'm not facing it towards my face. So it says, okay, we'll use the biometric fingerprint because I set this particular one up for fingerprints. And let's see if it's coming up. Yes, it came up. So there it is. So that was because I went in with my username and password, set up biometrics, which is safer. Anytime you can use your face or your fingerprint, it's going to be better. But using those complicated usernames and passwords to get started, because you can't set up biometrics unless you set up a username and password to begin with. So that's kind of the second step. Then we talk about two-factor authentication. Most banks require that. They're going to send you a text. And so a good example of that is with Bank of America. So I tap on Bank of America. It opens it up. I point my face at it. Okay, it still wants an authorization code. I have a choice. I can send it to my phone or to my husband's phone. I can send it as a text, or I can send it as a phone call, or I can get a code a different way. It might allow me to do it as an email. I hate doing it as an email. It's so much easier as a text. So I say select phone number, and I'm going to have it send me a text, and then down at the bottom it says send code. I have it set up so that once that code is there, it automatically enters it. I didn't have to even click or anything. And then I click submit, and it submits, and there I am into my banking app. So that's how difficult two-factor authentication was. It was not at all. It really helps me, and it keeps me so much safer. Making a website into an app or a what on your phone?
I screwed up. I was typing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
From the last subject to now, I'm sorry, I started typing and I wasn't thinking. Is there something, I do it all the time with someplace I go to all the time. I take the website and I hold it down and it says, put this on your front screen. I don't even know what you call it. You wouldn't call it an app. You wouldn't just say turning it, but so that it's always there. And that also
QR code? You mean QR code?
No, it's a
that is-
shortcut.
Oh,
It's a
Yeah.
shortcut.
But in doing that, it's like there, and then if you need to deal with it, you can, but it's in place. Does that make sense? It's like so easy to access if you.
It is. And I'm going to hold on that for a minute because I have
Okay.
two other questions that might be related to what we're talking about, and then we'll go to that. Medina?
Yeah. So you just mentioned about the two-step authentication, that you have it set up, it automatically fills it in. How do you do that? Because I get it on a text on my phone, and then I have to just type in the number.
Bank of America allows you to do that. It's a feature of their particular website.
Oh,
Not
I
all
see.
of them do, but that's a
Okay.
great question. But
Okay.
here's the other thing. You don't have to type it. You just push and hold to copy it, right? And then push and hold to paste it. You should not have to type it at all. So let's go to another bank that doesn't give an automatic fill in. I'll go to Chase Bank.
Okay.
And I've enabled biometrics. It automatically came up. Never mind. I'm already in. I really love biometrics. And I love my new phone because now Google Pixel allows face recognition. It only allowed fingerprint before, but now it does face. And so it's like I'm up with all you Apple kids on how cool that is. Let me think of
I have-
another one. Two-step authentication.
See, I had
Wait,
cataract surgery and I asked the doctor if it was going to change my eye recognition on my phone. He said he didn't think so, so I'll know.
No, it's doing the whole thing. It's not iris recognition, it's the whole thing. Good question. All right, let me think. I can't think of one right now besides those that I've already got set up for biometrics, but can anybody think of one that you automatically use that wants you to copy and paste?
Schwab and I have to type it in. When I do two-factor authorization, I have them send me a code on my phone, then I type it into my computer.
Okay, so when it comes on your phone though, oh, I know. Let me just go to my messages because I get them. Let's see. Not that one, not that one. And I usually delete them, so it'll take me a second here to find one. Okay. Okay, so here is a message for blah, 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 blah is your
Right.
code, right? So all I'm gonna do when I get it, so right now I just pushed and held, and then right there it says copy.
Oh,
So I
okay.
pushed and held the message,
Yeah.
and then I click copy. When it automatically pops up on my phone, right then and there, before the message goes away and I have to go into the messaging app to find it, like when it comes as the pop-up,
Yeah.
right there's a little prompt that says copy, and out of the whole message, it pulls just the number. And so I tap that real quick
Okay.
because I know it's coming, right?
Yeah.
I'm in that process. I'm wanting to get the code to get in. And so it'll come up as a notification on my phone. Real quick, I hit copy, and it's just going to give me that number, not this whole message.
Yeah.
Just like here. So this is what this shows up below when it does that pop up.
Mhm.
So I can just, rather than this, because I don't need all the rest of that nonsense, I can do copy, and then it's on my clipboard and it's already
You're
saved. So I'm
talking
not
about
having-
accessing it on your phone on the same device. I'm
Yes,
talking about accessing on a different device. Type it in. It's not a big deal.
gotcha. I understand. So you're on your computer and you send it as a text. to
And
your
the phone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amy had a question. She's not in the room though. Oh, she
Could I
is.
make an observation since she's not?
Yeah. Oh,
So
go
on
ahead.
something that you said before earlier, that maybe we do the same thing too often, talk about this. I want to tell you all, just an observation, I have a whole lot of people in my house this week. And there are a whole lot of people of all ages who do not use two-factor authorization, that click on everything that comes over their device. They get in trouble all the time and they just don't seem to get it. So what we do is good. That's my point. It
Good.
really, it's important to keep stressing that we have to be careful on this.
Thank you. Because sometimes I feel like, it's not worth it. But
No,
I
it is.
think
It
it
is.
is. I
It
think
is.
it is. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Amy.
Sorry, I had a really important phone call, but can you just back up? What do we have to be careful with?
Of making sure that we're using, when it's available, two-factor authentication.
Gotcha.
That if we use, the reason why I stress using a password manager is because the passwords that we use should be extremely long, extremely complicated, and not something you're going to remember. And I get the point of writing it down. The problem is that becomes a full-time job if you're doing it. And if you're somewhere and you need that and you don't have that piece of paper with you, that's a problem.
Right.
At a doctor's office
Yeah.
or, at a lawyer's office or somewhere where you're having to do something where you need access to your private information. The other thing is that if you're carrying that piece of paper around with you,
Yeah.
what if that gets gone? Whoa, you know? So let me just take a look at AARP. AARP.org doesn't matter one bit. And my password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 characters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols. I don't have anything important stored in AARP.org. I really don't. But it's the habit of knowing that everything I do, everything is all done that way so that there is no chance, and if, and I use a program, Malwarebytes, that, thanks to Linda, that protects me. And any program that you buy, whether it's McAfee or WebRoot or Malwarebytes or IDX or any of the antiviral programs that you buy, they're going to do essentially the same thing. Okay. Some are better than others. Some have different features, but what I'm stressing is buy one. Don't use the free one. You always get what you pay for. And so it's real important that, think about it. If you were to lose all of your life savings, how valuable would that $50 subscription be?
Right. Yeah.
It's $50 a year, That's pretty darn valuable. Not only we don't want to lose all of our money, if we lost our identities, and I know I'm sad Jackie's not in the room because I know Jackie uses the identity lock, I think is the one she uses, where if your identity is stolen, which can happen with all of this, not only do they have what you have now, but they have what you could ever have. And so it's like, so she's bought an extra insurance policy to protect herself that way. I think that's a great idea for Jackie. For me, I'm very comfortable with just having very long, complicated passwords that I change from time to time. I change, and where all of it is stored is in my Google Password Manager. Apple has a password manager also. It's called
Keychain.
I know what the icon looks like, but I couldn't remember the rest of it. It's called Keychain. They're both good. They're 100% better than nothing. 100% better than nothing. The companies that do this, like LastPass and OnePass and all of those other things, they do it well too. I'm going to argue that it might not be as easy because I watch people use LastPass. People who have paid me to come to their house and help them sort their things out. And it's not easier. Google is easier if you're using Google products. If you have Android and laptops, use the Google Password Keeper Manager for now. If you have all Apple devices, use the Apple one. If you have Apple devices, but you use a Google account and a Google email address, go ahead and use that. Now, the one thing that's not going to happen, and I think Kathy's going to say this, is that if you use hybrid, I know Kathy and Linda have some hybrid where their computer is a laptop, which is a different operating system, Microsoft style operating system, versus their phone, which is an iPhone. So when you do something in Apple, it is not going to keep it in the Google Password Manager. Oh, are you going to tell me different? Go ahead.
I don't know. I was so swamped at Christmas, but a few times it would pop up and saying, do you want to save your Google password also in passkey? And I'm like, well, yeah. Also. So
That's
they're
new.
trying, I was super swamped, so I don't know. I haven't even looked at it, but it did that twice that I was like, okay, this is nice because that's my problem. I have two separate places, but yeah. So
That's
I don't know.
fantastic. If that's actually doing that, that's fantastic. That makes everything so much easier for you.
Right.
So much easier.
Yeah. So I'm it happened twice, but of course
Okay.
I was in the middle, elbow deep of everything else. I just clicked yes because I thought, okay, great.
And
And I
that's the thing, Kathy. Yes is the right answer. Because the people that I know that I've had these conversations with where I'm in the room with them and their phone is in my hand, and my sister-in-law, love her to death, she she wanted me to set up something, and I don't even remember what it is now. But she wanted me to set up something on her phone. And so I actually set it up on her iPad because she's all Apple. And so I set it up on her iPad, and while she wasn't looking and it said, do you want me to save this? I went, yes. And I looked and she does have passwords saved, mostly by accident or when I'm there. Because most of the time she says no. When the pop-up comes up and says, "Do you want to save this in your keychain?" She
Mhm.
says no. And I've told her, say yes.
Mhm.
Yes, it's a good answer. Because
Well,
it makes life so much easier.
it'll, because I feel like that's something, a mountain that I need to accomplish, but I now don't feel like I have a mountain that I have to accomplish. If
Yeah.
they'll communicate and, I trust both of
Mhm,
them.
mhm.
So
That's
anyway.
excellent. That's excellent. So here's the thing, I have not yet, and correct me if I'm out of date, but I have not yet heard of pass of Google Password Manager being hacked, and I haven't heard of Apple Keychain being hacked yet.
Mhm.
I have heard the other password companies being hacked.
Mhm.
Have heard that on a limited basis. What's happened, it wasn't everybody, it was their employees, which kind of like, I don't know, that's a little troublesome. That they didn't have the system strong enough for their staff, so that worried me a little bit, but I've not heard of the two major companies' password managers being hacked. So you can have some confidence with that. Any other comments, questions about password managers?
Hmm.
The number one thing is when it asks you if you would like to have that password saved, say yes.
Mhm.
Say yes. That's the easiest thing. Is there anybody who has put in a new username and password? You've gone to a new site, you've gotten a new account with something where it hasn't asked you that? Andy, you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I get that sometimes with the Norton password manager. I'll set it up and do it, and it doesn't come up in the little box on the right hand side. It doesn't come up saying you want to save it. And it's happened several times,
Hmm.
which I've been puzzled about.
Do you use that on your phone as well?
Yes.
Okay. Does it come up on your phone?
Oh, it's transferred over to the phone
Okay.
from the computer. So
Okay.
I haven't set up a separate thing on the phone yet.
Okay.
Tried it.
My thought might go into the settings for it. Go into the settings. I'm betting that I've seen it in some other programs that I've used where it is actually a setting. Look under security settings and look and see if there's an option to move the toggle switch over to ask every time. Sometimes it'll be like do it automatically, never do it, and sometimes they'll say ask every time. You might want to try that. Also on a computer, you may have it and this is kind of bizarre given that it's the security system, but it might be that you've got pop-ups blocked. And so what you would have to do is so we're now just catch everybody up because Andy went, yep, I get what you mean, but I'm going to catch everybody up on what we're talking about. So he's got on his computer, and speak up if I'm wrong, on your computer, you've got Norton Antivirus, right?
Right.
And so,
Right.
it's on his computer. And so one of the things that a feature of these are to stop ads. And how you stop ads coming through all the time is blocking pop-ups. And so some antiviral programs, that's the default. We're going to stop all of this barrage of ads coming into your face. So what you have to do is you have to go into your settings and you have to allow something specific. In antiviral programs, it'll be to allow a specific website. I'll just take Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Sometimes you'll go to, any insurance and you'll go to the initial site. And then when you're going to start doing something, you're going to look at your account, you're going to look at your billing, you're going to look at your medical records or whatever. You're going to look at different aspects of it. It's in a different page that the way they've designed it, it comes as a pop-up, meaning it's not this page and a continuation of this page, but it's like another layer. And so it pops it up. It brings up a different one. But if your antiviral program has it where, nope, no pop-ups are happening, you have to go into settings, for your web browser and for Norton or whoever you're using, and you may have to put in that specific address. So it's always best to do it in that moment. If you're trying to do something, and I'm just using so I can say something, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the pop-up is blocked, and you wonder, why can I not get to this part of the page? Go and look in your settings, both on your web browser, regardless of what web browser you're using, and see are pop-ups blocked. So whether you're using Google, Firefox, DuckDuckGo, whatever, see if pop-ups are blocked. And then there's an option, there's almost always an option to allow a specific website to pop up. And so you would go back to the page where you're trying to get into, you go to the top, you copy that web address, right? And then you go back to your settings and you put in allow this one to do this action. So then you're just saying Blue Cross Blue Shield can come through all of the safety blockages I have because I need it, you know? And then check, because I'm not familiar with Norton settings at all. It's a good program. I just don't know what it looks like and how it operates. But I would go back in and check and make sure that if they have it where pop-ups are blocked or ads are blocked, because it may identify a pop-up as an ad, go back in and then paste that web address in there as well to allow that. So that's a really good example, Andy, and that might work really well.
Okay. All right. We will try it.
All righty. All right. Any other questions
Which one are you
about
gonna try it with?
When
the
I put in something,
I know, said which,
any other questions about using password managers? So the easiest thing to do is to make sure you say yes when it says, do you want to keep that password? If it's not coming up for you, like the easiest place is on your phones because we all have Android or Google phones. I mean, Android, which is Google and Android, or Apple. And so if you have a phone, you have a password manager and it's free and it works pretty darn good. And what I always do is
which
say,
one are you gonna use it on?
use the recommended password.
you use it when
You use the one they suggest a strong password, you use it. Say yes to that one. Now, I always tell people if this is brand new to you and you've heard me say it for 5 years and you go, but I just don't want to remember something that's XZY 23 dash ampersand blah 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 to 15 characters, that makes me very nervous. I won't be able to go back in here. Here's 2 things to remember. It's like your insurance policy. One, in that moment, write it down. Okay. If you're transitioning from paper to digital with password managers and password keepers, make yourself feel good and write it down. If you don't want to use the strong suggested one and you demand that you make a complicated one for yourself, that's perfectly fine. Always write it down first. Okay. So that you are looking at a piece of paper and typing character for character, this to that, to this to that. Make sure when you do this, that the website, if it allows it, show password. Don't ever type in a password you can't see. How many people, everybody raise your hands, have typed in a password and it's like, wrong password, wrong password, okay? Always. Now, there are a very few that will not allow you to see the password as you're typing. That's an extra security level that they put in. They think that, so what you do in that case is you go slow. I mean, okay, I'm going to go, okay, B, E, X. You're gonna go that slow because if you type it wrong 3 times, you generally get locked out for a specific amount of time. It's usually longer than you care to be locked out for. So if you take the extra time, if you can't see that password you're typing, and the same thing on your phone, you know, when you do it on your phone, it disappears so quickly, right? But if you're watching your keyboard, you can see on your keyboard. So I'm gonna just go to my keyboard and I'm going to type in a G and I can see on my keyboard itself. So look not at what I'm creating, but look at the keyboard. When I type in a G, see how a black G popped up?
Mhm.
There's whatever that letter is. I can't read it backwards. There's an E. So it's popping up on my keyboard. So I'm seeing it before it gets to here, or maybe simultaneously. My eyes aren't that fast. No, it's happening here first before it pops it in there. So if you're doing it on your phone, watch the keyboard, don't watch the result. Because by the time you see the result, oftentimes it's gone. But if you watch the keyboard, you can go, oh, I hit the N instead of the B, and you go back. And if you're not sure, if you're not 100% confident, erase it and start over before you hit submit. It's easier. Finally, with password keepers or complicated long passwords, create a new password. That's always an option. Every single place. I've never seen it not, where it says, forgot your password? Click that button. You'll have to go through a few more hoops. It'll take a little bit longer, but look at it on the bright side. It's always a good idea to create a new password. Always. Always. Because guarantee many of the passwords we have, even if they're long and complicated, have been sitting there too long. Now, how I get around that is with my Google Password Manager, I change my Google passwords. The one that's the gatekeeper that allows me into that Google account, I change that about every 6 months. And if you go into, and I'm sure Apple does the same thing, but I can't speak to it right now, but I can say if I go into Google and my security and passwords, it'll tell me the last time I updated my password for my main Google password. So we're going to do that right now in the minute we have left. When I go to my account and I go to manage my account and I go to December 29th.
No.
Two-step
mute now.
verification has been on since 2021. My password, my overall password was changed November 19th. All of that information is here. So if you're not sure the last time you changed it, go to your security and sign in, and it'll give you all of that information. It'll tell you exactly what you need to know. It'll tell you what other accounts are given access. I gave Zoom access to my Google account. Where is it? So that I could easily have all of my Zoom stuff in my calendar. Goes right there, manages it for me, tells me when something's coming up, gives me the login for it. It's very easy.
Nice.
All right, any questions?
Yes, how do you get to where it says that you can check your passwords?
So you are an Apple user, correct?
No,
Or you're Android.
yeah,
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to this icon here, the G.
uh-huh.
Okay. When you tap on the G, it brings up your Google, right? And then
Yeah.
up in the upper corner, I have a picture there. You probably have a B there. You tap on that. It brings up all of my Google accounts and it says manage my account right there.
Uh-huh.
It says manage your Google account. I tap on that. And now it gives me all of the things, personal information, security and sign in, Google password, third-party connections, everything about my Google account is right there. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to go to the G for Google.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the upper corner. That's my account icon. That's my picture. I know it's hard to see, but there's
Yeah.
my picture because I
Okay.
put it there.
Yeah.
You probably didn't put a picture there. You probably have a B for Betty. That's the default. And you tap
Okay.
on that. Then it comes up to this and it says manage your Google account. And I have multiple Google accounts, so there's all the rest of them that I can choose to manage instead. But right now I'm managing this one. And so I tap on manage Google account, and that's where I can do that. Then I'm going to go to security and sign in, and you'll be able to do a security checkup, which is a really helpful tool. Does Apple have the same thing? A kind of a security checkup?
I
Okay, that's Apple homework. It's 9:45. Apple users, let me know if there is a security checkup where you can kind of check and make sure that according to Apple standards, that you are as healthy as you can be and protected digitally.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy New
Thank
Year.
you. Have a great, great
Happy New
afternoon
Year.
and a good week, and I will see you next week.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.